What's really happening here, guys? In an era where religious and political landscapes are increasingly intertwined, the recent passage of the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act by Congress has ignited a fervent debate across various communities, notably among MAGA conservatives and Christian groups. The act, which aims to refine the enforcement of anti-discrimination laws within educational settings by adopting the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism, has sparked concerns over potential implications on biblical teachings and free speech. This is what's happening. MAGA conservatives voiced outrage at congressional Republicans voting for the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act over concerns it would make the Bible illegal. Congress on Wednesday passed the bill, which would require the Department of Education to use the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, also known as IHRA, working definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing anti-discrimination laws. It comes as colleges across the United States have seen pro-Palestinian protests that critics say at times have allegedly veered into anti-Semitism. A motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed toward Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and/or their property, toward Jewish community institutions and religious facilities, the definition reads. The bill drew bipartisan criticism, with both Democrats and Republicans voting against it. Critics argue the bill, if signed into law, stifles free speech that is protected by the U.S. Constitution and is overly broad in its definition of anti-Semitism, pointing to the definition including claiming that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor in parliamentary. Ultimately, 91 members of Congress voted against it. Some conservatives are taking issue with the bill over the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, including claims of Jews killing Jesus or blood libel, arguing that it could mean that parts of the Bible would now become illegal. While the definition in the bill does classify the idea that Jewish people were involved in killing Jesus as anti-Semitic, it does not make the Bible illegal. The bill's text states that it would require the Education Department to take into consideration the definition of anti-Semitism as part of the department's assessment of whether the practice was motivated by anti-Semitic intent when investigating allegedly anti-Semitic discrimination at colleges. Newsweek reached out to the office of House Speaker Mike Johnson for comment by means of email. Concerns about the bill making the Bible illegal were shared by high-profile conservatives. Did the House of Representatives just make parts of the Bible illegal? Posted conservative commentator Charlie Kirk to 10, formerly Twitter. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene posted, "Anti-Semitism is wrong, but I will not be voting for the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act of 2023 today that could convict Christians of anti-Semitism for believing the gospel that says Jesus was handed over to Herod to be crucified by the Jews." Congress votes to make the Bible illegal hate speech. "I guess I'll see you all in jail," wrote Lauren Witzke, a former Republican Senate candidate in Delaware. If you support this anti-Semitism hate speech bill, not only are you spitting on the First Amendment, you are openly denying the Bible as well, wrote Blaze TV host Lauren Chen. The idea that Jewish people were responsible for Jesus' death has been rejected by some Christians, including the late Pope Benedict XVI. In 2011, he wrote a book exonerating Jewish people of these claims, concluding that his accusers were only temple authorities, not all Jewish people at the time. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, as reported, seeks to address the rise in anti-Semitic incidents, particularly in colleges noted for pro-Palestinian protests that have allegedly veered into anti-Semitic territory. The IHRA definition incorporated into the bill describes anti-Semitism as a certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews, encompassing both rhetorical and physical manifestations against individuals, property, and religious facilities. However, the inclusion of elements such as the claim that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor, and references to historical accusations against Jews, such as the deicide or killing of Jesus and blood libel, has particularly alarmed some Christian commentators and lawmakers. Figures like Charlie Kirk and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene have voiced concerns that such definitions could inadvertently label traditional Christian teachings as anti-Semitic, potentially impacting religious freedom. Let us look at some scriptural insights and historical misinterpretations. The heart of the controversy for many Christians lies in the scriptural accounts of Jesus' crucifixion, particularly the role played by Jewish authorities of that era. The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, provide narratives that have been historically complex in their reception, occasionally contributing to anti-Semitic attitudes when interpreted without sufficient theological and historical context. For instance, Matthew 27 verses 1 to 2 and John 19 verses 15 to 16 detail the involvement of Jewish leaders in the decision to hand Jesus over to Roman officials. These passages, if misinterpreted, can lead to broad and inaccurate accusations against Jewish people as a whole, ignoring the broader Roman involvement and the socio-political nuances of the time. It's critical to note, as the late Pope Benedict XVI did in his writings, that the actions of a few leaders should not be construed as representative of an entire ethnicity or religion. His theological reflections underscore the need for careful interpretation to avoid perpetuating ancient prejudices that have no place in modern Christianity. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act's broad definition of anti-Semitism has also sparked a legal and ethical debate about the balance between combating hate and protecting free speech. Critics of the bill argue that it could stifle legitimate political and religious discourse, thereby infringing on rights protected under the U.S. Constitution. This concern is particularly poignant in the context of academic freedom, where the line between critical discussion and discriminatory rhetoric can be thin and often subjective. From a Christian perspective, there is a profound responsibility to advocate for laws that defend against hatred while also safeguarding the ability to share and teach the gospel openly. Romans 13 verses 1 to 7 calls believers to respect and obey governmental authorities, recognizing their role as servants of God for justice. However, Acts 5 verses 29 also reminds Christians, we must obey God rather than human beings. This scriptural tension highlights the dual obligation to uphold divine commands and human laws, especially when they appear to conflict. Looking ahead, the challenge lies in fostering a constructive dialogue that bridges legislative goals with religious liberties. Engaging with Jewish communities and other faith groups to address mutual concerns about discrimination and misrepresentation could lead to more nuanced understandings and solutions that respect both legal and religious dimensions. As Christians, our journey through these complex issues should be guided by a commitment to truth, love, and justice, as exemplified in Micah 6 verse 8 and Matthew 22 verse 39. The passage of the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act presents an opportunity for Christians to reflect deeply on our interpretations of Scripture, ensuring they embody Christ's teachings of love and reconciliation, not division or prejudice. By promoting informed and respectful discourse, we can better navigate the intersections of faith, law, and ethics in a way that honors our commitment to both divine and civic responsibilities. In total, these reflections and analyses embody our ongoing quest as believers to live out our faith authentically and responsibly in an ever-changing world, ensuring that our actions and words witness to the truth and grace of the gospel.
If you enjoyed this video and want more insights into Christian news, prophecy, and revelation, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stay tuned for more enlightening discussions. Keep seeking the truth.